Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I am the creator and author of the Get Resultsology system and a dedicated accountability coach. My mission is to empower solopreneurs to unlock their true potential, boost their income, and achieve extraordinary success by maximizing productivity, streamlining their businesses, and aligning their goals with their authentic vision and purpose. So, if you're ready to turn ambition into action and transform your goals into reality, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome Joe Casabona. Joe is a podcast and automation coach who helps busy solopreneurs save time with smart systems. He's been podcasting for over 10 years. Teaches on LinkedIn Learning, and hosts Streamlined Solopreneur. Joe earns up to $50K a year from sponsorships and gets $60K monthly downloads, all while raising 3 kids and helping others do the same through podcast workflows. Joe, welcome to Goalbusters.
Thanks so much for having me, Robin. I'm really glad to be here.
You're very welcome. I'm really glad you are here. And whereabouts is here for you? Where in the world are you, Joe?
I live in a suburb outside of Philadelphia, but I always hedge with this answer and let people know that I'm originally from New York because that's a very important part of my identity.
Oh, fair enough. I'll not question why you're doing that because I'm not from your part of the world at all. But if that makes sense to you, then I'm sure it makes a lot of sense to people listening.
It's mostly that I'm a New York Yankees fan. And I need to, people in Philly begrudge that of me until they find out I'm a native New Yorker.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not getting into that. Could start a fight. All right. So, can we do the questions, Joe?
Absolutely.
Okay, then. So let's get the clock up on the screen. And there it goes. So, Joe, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client, please?
Well, you said it right there in the intro. Busy solopreneur parents are the people that I help most. They most likely have a podcast because I feel like that's where I can help them save the most times, but they are overwhelmed in their business with the amount of stuff that they're doing manually.
Okay, sounds like you're talking to me personally there, a little bit personal, but okay, I can handle it. And yeah, it's always difficult introducing somebody if they can end up answering all the questions. So speaking of which, hopefully I haven't answered all the questions. What is the problem that you solve, please, Joe?
Yeah, so I'll give you the dream that my clients have and then the practical way I solve it. So the problem that I solve for my clients is one that I was having a few years ago. I left my full-time job to start a business so that I'd have the freedom to spend it with my family. I didn't do a very good job of that because I felt chained to my desk, and we won't get into the whole story because we have the time here, but I had a panic attack in late 2020, and I made a promise to myself after that I would be able to spend more time with my family. And so I started automating and delegating more things. So the problem that I solve for busy solopreneur parents is they want to run a business, they want to have freedom to spend time with their family, and they don't have that. The way I solve that practically is by teaching them and actually doing for them the automation and delegation part. So we look at their processes, we look at how they're doing things, and we systematically go through and say, how can you remove this from your plate so that you're only doing what you need to do?
Wow. Okay. Thank you. And again, can you see me leaning in there? Because I understand, I completely get how important that is, what you're doing there. So thank you for sharing that with us. So what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them to solve that problem, Joe?
Yeah, so I think the first thing, which is also free for you, is you need to understand what you're doing, right? And we don't have to use words like SOPs or documentation, but you can't let's say you can't cook dinner unless you know what's in your fridge, right? And so the first thing, the free thing that you can do is make a list of everything that you do for a specific project, maybe for your podcast, maybe for getting clients, maybe just in your business in general. Pick one area, make a list of everything you need to do, and then I want you to write a check mark next to everything that you and only you can do. And here's a little cheat code for that. It's a lot less than you think. There are very smart, very skilled people out there. And so think about what you and only you can do and write a check mark next to those things.
Yeah, absolutely. A very salient point. And it is one of the hardest things you can do when you're a solopreneur is learning to delegate or leverage out what you're doing, letting go. You're right. It is, there isn't much that other people can't do. And I speak from personal experience here because I'm one of these people that won't let go of anything. All right. So now we have a better understanding of what you do. Let's dive into goal busting, which is focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve your business goals. So, Joe, could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits, please?
Yeah, I'll give you a quick three, I think. The first is that the tool can't save you, right? I think that we get in our heads, oh, if I just find the perfect app, it'll make me productive. The app that you use is the one that will help you the most. So I would say forget the super fancy all-in-one tools. If pen and paper works, if the notes app on your phone works, use that. Use what works best for you. And then as far as improve your productivity habits, you need to look at the negative habits that you have, right? So like I'm really easily distractible. And so I have some safeguards in place. I use an app called Focus, which blocks apps and websites on my phone and on my computer. I have the brick, which is the same thing for my phone. And I make sure I'm completely locked out of the distracting things and I need to focus up. And then the third thing I will have you do in the name of creating these standard operating procedures and improving your processes is when you perform a new task, record it and narrate what you're doing because this will help you A, understand what you're doing, B, see if there's anything that you can eliminate, and C, delegate it and create actual documentation for whoever you're delegating to.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with everything you said there. And three for the price of one. Wow, you really deliver on value, Joe. I love that. I can see what kind of man you are. That's cool. All right. So, one final question, but I always love this question because I never know what's going to come up. And sometimes the answers are absolute blinders. I'll talk about setting you up. All right. So, what should I have asked you today that I didn't, Joe? And what was your answer, please?
All right. Well, I'm setting myself up for success here because I think the question you should have asked me but didn't is isn't automation hard? Isn't that for like computer nerds? And whilst I use the word whilst, and whilst I have my master's in software engineering, automation is not something super complicated, or it doesn't have to be, right? If you pay your bill automatically online, you are already automating. So I would encourage you to look at some of the apps you're using. If you're using Notion or Airtable or even a task manager like Todoist or your calendar, there are little ways in those apps where you can automate your life a little bit more. And I would encourage you to do that, right? Automation is saying when something happens, do this other thing. When it's the first of the month, take the amount of my bill out of my bank account, right? When I add something to my calendar, create a reminder. And so if you're sending data between apps, automation is the best way to do it. And it really cuts down on your context switching and your copying and pasting so you can really focus on the big things there.
Absolutely perfect. Completely agree. I didn't know about your master's in software engineering. That's fascinating. And of course, the whole point about any kind of automated software is you still got to remember to use it, haven't you? And that's really what you're
Mm,
saying.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Joe. That's been an absolute masterclass. And I don't say that lightly. I've often, people who listen regularly may hear me say that, but I actually only say it when I really mean it. And that has been a masterclass. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just glad I came in a few seconds under instead of going over.
Yeah, so am I. So am I. Gold star, gold star. And anyway, I have one more question, which I think is a really important one. How can people reach you? Part A, and part B, is there like a valuable free resource they can get from you, which is a really good way of finding out more about what you do?
For sure. So, you probably heard the answer to my last question and thought, okay, Joe, like, fine, it's easy for you, whatever, right? I have no idea what I can automate. I don't even know what is automatable. Well, I have a free thing for you. It's my automations database. It is a template of 40 plus automations. And even if you don't take those templates and install them on Zapier or make.com or wherever, it's a list of what's possible and the things that run my business. And you can find that over at casabona.org/automation.
Right. Sorry, I'm a bit like, do I go now and get it, or should I actually say thank you before I go? No, I'll say thank you, and I'll go after the recording. That sounds really good, actually. I'm definitely going to look at that. Again, I always, if I say that, I mean it. I really am very interested. Thank you. That is a very useful, valuable free resource indeed. Very useful. Joe, it's been an absolute pleasure. My only regret is that this is a short format. I could probably happily take up and occupy more than an hour of your valuable time, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, Joe, thank you so much for doing this today.
My pleasure, Robin. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.